Hey, this is Manjaja with WayToIndie.com. Today we have with us Caleb Ray, and we're talking to him a bit about his musical projects and a bit about himself. So, without further ado, here we go.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So if you can go ahead and give us a little bit of an introduction, who you are, where you're from, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Caleb Ray. I'm a music artist from Salem, Oregon, and I'm a worship leader at a church in Salem, and I make music for two projects that I have. One is for me as a solo artist, Caleb Ray, and my other is a side project that I have called Panda Panda. So, I,
Awesome,
yeah.
cool. And where did you get your start in music? Uh, was this something you did growing up, or?
Well, I've been playing guitar since I was 10. Um, and I've been playing guitar and singing since about I was 10 years old, and um, so I've been got my start just playing guitar, being in all sorts of different jazz bands, and then playing in church and stuff a lot. And but it wasn't until I was about 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old. I was in college, and I got to start doing some acoustic coffee shop shows, and then I started a band up, and I really realized, like, wow, people really are enjoying this, and this is something I could really run with. So that's kind of how I got my start, and I've been doing it ever since, full time. So I love it. It's a great
Awesome.
way to live life.
So, was that at when you started your band, that first band in college? Was that where that inspiration came from for the rest of your projects, or where did you get your inspiration from at that time?
Yeah, well, um, I think every great musician kind of dabbles in every different kind of genre. So, I mean, I've been through so many different chapters of life where one chapter of life I went through a punk rock phase. Like when I was in junior high, I went through like a skater punk band phase, and I was playing guitar in a punk band. And quickly after that, I went to blues and jazz, and I played some Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, and then I discovered John Mayer and his guitar playing. And I'd say on my guitar playing, he made one of the biggest influences for me. And I say my style of guitar playing is probably closest to his. Um, Later after that, I went through a rock phase. I went through, um, an indie phase, and then I went through a Need to Breathe phase. There's a band called Need to Breathe. I feel like everyone goes through a Need to Breathe kick at one point or another. But um, yeah, I kind of draw from all sorts of different genres, and so with my music, it's like this kind of fun hip hop electronic rock sound, but you get little hints of everything here and there, and so I'm coming at you from all over the place. So.
Awesome. Yeah, we did. I've listened to Panda Panda as well as your self-titled projects, and you definitely get a feel for that. You've got a great taste for music that that you've put into that. So, um, speaking of that, what's can you tell us a little bit more about your projects, both yours that you do by yourself and also Panda Panda as well?
Yeah, I'll start with my solo artist career. I've been performing and doing shows for about the last 7 or 8 years. I've done a couple tours with my band, and like I said, I was in college. I went to Western Oregon University, and about halfway through my sophomore year, I started doing shows, like legitimate rock shows, and me and my three-piece band said, "Hey, let's run with this." And so we started doing like weekend tours, and like I'd go to school Monday through Friday, and my weekend job is to like travel around and do some West Coast shows, and like so it was really fun to balance all that out. And so I have 3 albums that I did. My first one I did, it's called Acoustical. I made that in 2008, just by myself. When I started my band, so around 2010, we recorded my second thing. It was called the Wake Up EP. And then 3 years after that, actually, my newest album is called This Little Light, and that releases on Tuesday. November 5th. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. And I've just been kind of all over the place and been inspired by so many different things. As for my Panda Panda project, that actually started kind of as a joke, and that's something not a lot of people realize. It kind of started with an inside joke, and I was actually a counselor at a summer camp. It was 3 years ago, I think. It was about 3 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, and all of the counselors have to come up with camp names for ourselves, and to kind of protect our identity from the campers so they don't, stalk us afterwards or whatever. But anyway, my camp name was Panda because during college, my roommates all gave me the nickname Panda because I love to eat food and I had the ability to like eat massive quantities of food, and so my camp name was Panda, and so all these little kids would run around and say, Panda Panda, come play soccer with us. Panda Panda, come play basketball with us. Or Panda Panda, come do this. And it wasn't Panda, it was Panda Panda, Panda Panda, come do this with us. And so my name quickly became Panda Panda with exclamation point at the end. And so I started dabbling with electronic music, when I got home from that camp, and I discovered just a huge love for just like Owl City and that whole electronic feel, and so I kind of ran with that and kind of made it my own and had a lot of fun with that and decided to call it Panda Panda. And no one really knows that it started as a joke, but it's, well, now people will, but but yeah, it started as a joke and now it's kind of this really cool thing that people enjoy.
Awesome. I definitely wouldn't have thought of that, so that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So where do you see your music going from here?
Where do I see it going from here? Um, I have a hard time predicting where it could go. There's so many different directions I could go, but where I'd like to go, for my solo artist career, I'm releasing a new CD in 2 days, and so far the reaction to it has been absolutely incredible. I'm just blown away by how much people enjoy it, and how the songs are inspiring them and impacting them. And so I would love to start touring. I'd love to find a band to start touring with and just see what people outside of Oregon think about it. I said I've been at it for about 7 years, but I still feel like I'm pretty new to the game. I wouldn't say, I'm the most famous person ever, but I would definitely love to start touring and get some experience under my belt. Love to keep connecting with fans and just see where it goes and see how it builds and see what it can snowball. See if it has like a snowball effect or something. But with Panda Panda and my music, it's kind of funny. They kind of build each other up because people like Panda Panda, and then they'll discover, oh, it's the same guy, and wow, I really like this stuff too. So they kind of build each other up, and so it's been fun. I see it going in a really good direction, but it's so hard to predict. But I'd love to start just touring and see what kind of reaction I get from people.
Cool. Well, keep Houston in mind if you do start touring anytime soon.
Yeah.
So definitely.
You got it, brother.
So before we finish off here, what's one interesting thing that, well, now that you've told us that your nickname is Panda and then all these other things, but what's one other interesting thing that most people wouldn't know?
I can think of a couple things. I mean, one fun fact about me, and that I love to laugh at myself. Like I have no problem being the fool, but one thing that I'm deathly afraid of is octopi. Like if I see an octopus in the Oregon Coast Aquarium or something, I will freak out. Like I will go outside of my mind. Like it's ridiculous. So I stay away from, sushi restaurants and things like that. It really just makes me nervous. Another thing that people might not realize, it's kind of interesting when I tell people that I'm a full-time musician and that I do this for a living. Automatically, I get labeled with, um, people start to assume things like, oh, you uh, probably didn't graduate from college, or just some different assumptions, and um, so it's easy to do that. But what people might not realize about me is that I'm a college graduate. I have a marketing degree, and actually graduated top of my class in the business department at Western Oregon that year, and so and I absolutely love having my hand in every single part of the music process, whether that's the designing or the promotion or literally emailing fans back and forth. If people send me an email for Panda Panda saying, "Hey, I love your stuff," they'll get an email back from me within the hour, because this is what I'm doing full time. So absolutely love having my hand in every single part of it. Um, so
Awesome.
yeah, yeah,
Cool. It's definitely it's nice to know that you keep so connected with your fans as well. 'Cause
yeah,
there's that connection there. So, um,
I
I
love it.
think that's about wraps it up here. Do you have anything else that you want to mention before we sign off here?
Yeah. Again, my new album, This Little Light, comes out November 5th. It's going to be on iTunes, Amazon, my website, www.calebraymusic.com. You can find it there. It's a really great album. It's really strong. The songs are really encouraging and fun and upbeat and very contagious. So I just encourage people to go check it out on iTunes and on my website.
Well, hey, this is Manjaja with waytoindie.com. Today we have with us Caleb Ray, and we're talking to him a bit about his musical projects and a bit about himself. So, without further ado, here we go.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So if you can go ahead and give us a little bit of an introduction, who you are, where you're from, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, it's a great way to live life.
So, was that at when you started your band, that first band in college? Was that where that inspiration came from for the rest of your projects, or where did you get your inspiration from at that time?
Yeah, well, I think every great musician kind of dabbles in every different kind of genre. So, I mean, I've been through so many different chapters of life but it wasn't until I was about 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old. I was in college, and I got to start doing some acoustic coffee shop shows, and then I started a band up, and I really realized, like, wow, people really are enjoying this, and this is something I could really run with. So that's kind of how I got my start, and I've been doing it ever since, full time. So I love it. My name is Caleb Ray. I'm a music artist from Salem, Oregon, and I'm a worship leader at a church in Salem, and I make music for two projects that I have. One is for me as a solo artist, Caleb Ray, and my other is a side project that I have called Panda Panda. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool. And where did you get your start in music? Was this something you did growing up, or?
Well, I've been playing guitar since I was 10. Um, and I've been playing guitar and singing since about I was 10 years old, and um, so I've been got my start just playing guitar, being in all sorts of different jazz bands, and then playing in church and stuff a lot, and